Good morning. Welcome to our episode 4 of City Walk and Talk with yours truly, Dr. Josephine Grace Rojo. Welcome, especially for our first time listeners. We are already on our third kilometer walk, and it's the second half of our morning run and walk in participation with this month's challenge with Taji 100. The goal is to go outdoors, either walking, cycling, jogging, hiking, or even swimming for 100 miles or equivalent to 160 kilometers in 28 days for the month of February. Maraming salamat for always tuning in. Again, sa mga ngayon pa lang po nakikinig sa atin, this walk and talk episode is just anything under the sun. Not really related to low carbon fasting, but just a chill walk and talk series, mostly about anything regarding sa araw-araw nating pamumuhay, or sometimes meron tayong topic. Like today, yung topic natin ngayong araw is when things don't go as planned. Kung meron tayong mga plano at mga iniisip at mga pangarap, and we put our hearts into it, dinedicate natin lahat-lahat, binigay na lahat-lahat, and still, at the end of it all, hindi natutuloy, hindi naging successful. So, ano ang gagawin natin when things don't go as planned? Kasi kahit pa gaano kaganda yung pagpaplano natin minsan, marami talagang mga bagay na out of our control. Marami talagang mga factors na hindi natin kayang i-control. And that's just part of life. And the more important question or the more important scenario when that happens, kung hindi natuloy yung plano mo, is how do you go about it? Ano ang ginagawa mo kapag hindi natutuloy ang iyong mga plano in life? And kapag nangyari yan, kapag yung mga pinag-iisip nating mga plans and dreams ay hindi nga sumang-ayon yung tadhana. The timing is not right, whether it's in business, it's in your career, it's about relationship, o kahit anong plano. Kahit a small school project lang. Yet, kahit pa in-anticipate mo yung kung ano-anong posibleng challenges, pero at the end of the day, meron pa rin mga factors na hindi natutuloy dahil nga hindi natin yon na anticipate ahead of time. So, when that happens, what do you do? Do you just let it go? Or do you blame the situation? Do you blame life? Do you blame others? Do you blame God sa mga bagay na hindi sumang-ayon sa'yo? Or do you analyze? Tinitignan mo ba kung ano yung mga factors na pwede pala nating mai-improve? Kung ano yung mga bagay na meron ka palang pagkukulang? Dahil kahit pa sabihin natin na binigay mo na lahat, ginawa mo na lahat-lahat, sometimes, yung ang sabi, sometimes daw, kahit ano pa yan, it is still not yet enough. Or better yet, minsan, sobra-sobra yung binigay mong effort. Pero, yung effort mo pala, nilagay mo sa hindi tamang factor, hindi tamang path. It could be na sobra-sobra nga yung effort mo, pero kinulang sa iba because you focused on the wrong things. Or you focus on the things na hindi ganon ka-significant, hindi ganon ka-importante when it comes to that specific project. Since February ngayon, let's talk about when things don't go as planned, according to love. So, as of this point, I want you to remember kung ano yung inyong challenges in life. If it's not related to love, then it's okay. You can just apply it in any other endeavors you have. Pwedeng sa career, pwedeng sa trabaho, pwedeng sa money, pwedeng sa business, pwede in family matters. But when it comes to effort, dapat alam nyo, or at least you have foresight. Meron kayong iniisip, some sort of wisdom, kung saan nyo ilalagay yung full effort ninyo. Dahil ang buhay nga, sabi nila, parang suga lang yan. And even if you are not a gambler, yun talaga ang ginagawa natin, whether we like it or not. Because we are not in control sa pamumuhay natin dito. We can only control so much. But the other factors around us, we cannot control. And that is why this City Walk and Talk is about mental wellness. It's about mental health. It's about proper mindset. It's about having a good outlook in life. Alam niyo ba kung bakit nagbibigay tayo ng importance when it comes to mental health? Because it's the only thing that we can control. Ito lang yung ethically, morally, legally na bagay na kaya nating kontrolin at pwede nating kontrolin. It is not good to control others. It is not good to manipulate others. It is not good to always let the world do things for you. Because individually, lahat ng tao, they have their own to decide for themselves. But if you wish them well and you want them to decide better for themselves, the best that you can do is to try to educate, try to influence them in a way na alam mong makakabuti sa kanila. But at the end of the day, sila pa rin yung magde-decide, just like what we are doing. We educate people on proper nutrition, on which foods to eat, on what time do we need to eat, the proper thinking when it comes to food intake and also overall lifestyle. Pero at the end of it all, yung tao pa rin, kayo pa rin, ikaw pa rin, yung magde-decide kung anong bibilhin mo sa grocery, kung anong order mo sa restaurant, kung ano ang ilalagay mo sa plate mo, and lastly, kung ano yung isusubo mo. Meron pa nga kung ano yung lulunukin mo. Because I know some bakers, mga chef, kailangan daw nilang isubo, kailangan nilang tikman. Pero they spit it out after because they are committed to their health. Not to me, but to their health. They are committed in improving their health. So that is why, para huwag na silang madala pa sa pagkain na naman ng mga foods that are no longer nutritionally essential for us, they spit it out. And so, when it comes to relationship, na binigay niya ng lahat, and yet, it didn't work, try to think. Kasi, kahit pa binigay mo, say for example, 100% of your time sa tao na yon. Pero, hindi pala yon yung kanyang na-appreciate. Mas gusto pala niya, meron siyang freedom. Or, yung inyong relationship is something na mamimiss nyo ang isa't isa. Or, kung hindi naman kayo nagkikita parate, but say for example, binigay mo lahat in material things. Lahat ng regalo na lang, lahat ng kailangan niya at hindi niya kailangan, binibigay mo, because that is your love language. Pero, your partner pala, hindi pala yun yung love language niya. What if yung love language niya is about expression of words? Nagbibigay ka nga ng mga material things, pero hindi ka naman nagsasabi ng na mahal mo talaga siya, or how you value that person, or kung gaano siya ka-importante sa buhay mo. And so, your effort is actually wasted. Your money is even wasted. What else? Others express love through physical touch. You're always hugging, you're always holding hands, you're always intimate. And for you, that is your expression of love. At yun din yung usually gusto mo. Pero nakikita mo, your partner is not giving that to you. You feel disappointed, and also you feel na yung partner mo hindi rin masaya. Maybe because his or her own language of love is different. Like say for example, in the form of service. Okay lang sa kanya kahit walang physical touch, kahit walang sweet words, kahit walang material na gifts and presents. Pero gusto niya, yung kanyang love language is through service. That's why kung may kailangan ka, kahit pa yung mukha niya minsan ay parang naiirita, pero automatically, nandyan siya to drive you around, to buy you your necessary na mga errands, kung ano man yung kailangan mong service. Because your partner's love language is service. So, kailangan, you have to think whether your effort is really worth it, is really the one that's moving the needle ka nga. Ito yung mga bagay that really matters sa kung sino mo man ino-offer yung service na yun. Say for example, in work, like sa construction, halos mamatay ka na sa kaka-push ng isang malaking semento na yon. At yun nga, at the end of it all, hinimatay ka. Nung hinimatay ka na, nalaman mo na dapat pull pala yung gagawin mo, hindi push. So yun yung pinaka-specific na, pinaka-simple idea na when you exert an effort, make sure that that effort is really important. By the way, meron ditong lola, kasama niya yung dog niya. Tapos, pinipicturean niya lang na pinipicturean yung kanyang dog. So cute! Grabe yung kanyang, mahal na mahal yung dog niya, no? Baby niya. And so, when things don't go as planned, kahit pa sobrang heartbreaking pa yan, kahit sobrang disappointing pa yan, kahit pa halos you blame na everything, ayaw mo nang mabuhay. Galit na galit ka na, disappointed ka, frustrated ka na kasi nga binigay mo na lahat. Yet, take time. Okay? Mourn if you want. Magluksa ka, umiyak ka. But only for a period of time. It is not inevitable. Hindi natin yan mapipigalan. For us to feel disappointed, for us to feel na nalulungkot tayo, nasasaktan tayo. But it's what we do after that will dictate kung ano yung final outcome. Because even if your plan didn't go the way you wanted it, it's not yet the end. Lahat ng yan, these are just mga side trips, ika nga. As long as we are alive, as long as we are living, hindi pa yun yung final destination natin. So, consider that as a reroute. Nag-rerouting lang sandali. Meron lang unexpected U-turn. Meron lang unexpected na no entry pala. So, it's okay. Marami pa namang ibang daan. Marami pang ibang plans. Just go there, and then you make your necessary turn, and then you reassess, mag-isip na muna, try to find other ways, i-Google Maps mo, i-Waze mo, and then hopefully, your next path na tatahakin is already the right one. So, the first thing that you need to do is to reflect on it, contemplate. Saan ka pwedeng mag-improve? Saan mo pwedeng ikaw mismo yung kusang nagde-decide? Because even if step 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9, and 10 is up to your boss, is up to your parents, it's up to your colleagues, or whoever, pero meron diyang at least one step in there na ikaw yung may hawak ng desisyon. So, you have to take responsibility. So, adulting starts with taking responsibility. I know, nakakatakot minsan pakinggan yung adulting, even for adults. Even sa mga mommies, hindi yan sa age. It's not about the age. I know a lot of tita and lola na nako, pinagsasabihan ko pa. Kasi yung pag-iisip minsan, sobra pa. I think ka-level ko sila mag-isip nung grade 5 ako when it comes to deciding. But I love them just as much. And that's why it's regardless of age. Adulting means taking responsibility sa nangyayari sa buhay mo. So no matter how you think it's out of your control, you have to be accountable, at least on that part where you could have done better, na pwede mo sanang maitama ito. Even if in relationship, na kahit pa feeling mong abuse na abuse ka, at ikaw yung kawawang-kawawa, there was this point na na-realize mo na yon. But yet, you continued. And so, it's not about your partner. It's about you allowing it. And of course, maraming differences when it comes to taking accountability. Others, ang hirap-hirap gawin para sa kanila because it's an insult to their pride. It's an insult to their ego. But those people who will not be accountable, yung growth nila, very limited lang. Hanggang dyan lang yung growth nila. Simply because hindi sila nagte-take responsibility. So when that happens again in the future, ganun pa rin. They will still become a victim. Their plan on the same things will still not go as planned. Especially kung ibang tao ang kinoconsider nila as the one in control at hindi sila mismo. And that is why the only way for you to prevent those unplanned things from happening is for you to really take responsibility. And if you already take responsibility, that's also another area na pwede ring maging source of failure. Because while others are having a hard time accepting their fault, meron namang iba, sobra-sobra namang aakuin lahat ng kasalanan. Ako ang may kasalanan. Kung sa Bisaya, ano nga yun? Meron yun eh. When you have to accept yung sa church na akong sala, akong dakong sala. So, yan. It's my fault, it's my big fault. You should always also be wary. Huwag din kayo sobra-sobra kung mag-blame sa sarili ninyo. Because if you do that, you will just put self-blame, and others can even go into very sad period in their life of depression, of self-loathing. Hindi lang sila nafe-feel bad, but they even hate themselves. At hindi yun maganda. Sobrang kawawa yun. You just take accountability. You accept kung saan yung mga bagay na you are the sole responsible person sa nangyari na yan. If you must, you really regret. And kung meron kang kailangan gawin, you apologize, you say sorry. And if wala namang ibang apektuhan, sarili mo lang, all the better. Hindi kailangan magluksa ng bonggang-bongga. Just accept that you did something wrong and that you can still improve it. And the most important part is, forgive yourself. I think madali lang siyang sabihin, madali lang siyang isipin, but it's you forgiving yourself. Sometimes it's the freedom that we need for us to fully move on. Before we continue, pasalamat muna tayo kay Leonida, Johnny, Catherine, Edmund, Elfie, Beth, Robert, Ans, for all your support, and everyone. 260 plus live listeners, and also you can take this time to share to your timeline, to your family and friends. Baka walang signal yung radyo sa kanila pero meron silang internet, so that they can also listen to our episode today. And so, bakit kailangan i-forgive natin yung sarili natin to the things that we regret doing? Because that's the only opportunity for us na mabawi yung kung ano man yung pinagsisihan natin. It could be towards other people. It could be towards your own future self. It could be towards your family. Because hindi pwedeng mabuhay lang tayo on regret. There should be resolution. Ano yung pwede natin gawin? I will tell you an example of a scenario na sobrang sakit. I think it is one of those scenarios na considered as most painful experiences ever. Diba? Kapag ang bata daw ay nawalan ng magulang, they are considered orphans. Pero, if the parents nawala ng anak, there's no term for that. Walang word to describe a parent losing children or wala ng anak. This is because hindi siya natural. Hindi siya part ng natural order. Because the natural order is, yung mga magulang, usually, they pass first before the children. Pero may mga instances na yung mga bata, yung unang namamatay kaysa mga magulang. And that kind of pain is hindi yun mailagay sa any word. No one word can ever describe the pain of a parent losing a child. And if you cannot imagine that kind of pain, how much more kung ikaw mismo accidentally yung nakakos ng pagkamatay ng... It's so frustrating. It's so bad. Just like, I think I read this story or I heard this story before nung meron pang Oprah. Paborito kasi yun ni Mami. Until now, meron pa siyang mga recorded na in DVDs pa of the Oprah Winfrey Show. At yung topic nga nila yun, I think they have 3 or 4 couple na mga guests nila na silang lahat, they accidentally caused the death of their children dahil sa kanilang pagpapark sa bahay. Hindi nila nakita na yung either pagdating nila sa kanilang bahay or before sila umalis, lumabas pala yung bata. And na-aksidente sa kanilang sasakyan right in their own parking, right in their own front yard, right in their own home. At yun mismo nung namatay yung kanilang anak, usually mga toddlers, yung mga young children. And it caused separation sa kanilang mag-asawa. It caused depression sa mother. It caused alcohol addiction sa papa. So it was really very devastating. But they were helped in a way when they were processed by a professional. So that's why professional help can really be good, especially sa mga bagay na hindi naman natin araw-araw na experience. If you don't experience it on a regular basis, hindi natin alam kung ano yung best thing to do. Whereas the professionals, they deal with it every day. Kahit hindi kanilang own experiences, but experiences of their clients. And they already have the hacks, kumbaga, how to deal with it. So, one essential part of that recovery process is really forgiveness. You have to forgive yourself. And another is your resolution. No, it won't happen again. You will do whatever it takes to avoid that same thing from happening. For others, I think the worst done is, I think tatlong anak nila mismo namatay because the other one is in stroller, yung ganun. And 3 of their children namatay sa accident na yun, na silang dalawa nasa loob ng car. But we always have a reason to do better. Okay? So, you still have your other family members, you still have other children, you still have your spouse, na hindi man sila yung nawala, o hindi man sila yung direct victim, but you also owe it to those people you love or to those people you hurt to make up for it by knowing na you will do your best to avoid it. So it might take a little time for those who committed things that they regret 100%, na sobrang regret nila. But try to ponder on it. Maybe after our City Walk and Talk episode now, you can go to your room or sa CR lang, mag-pretend ka lang. Kung marami kayo sa bahay, I'm sure you'll have your personal space within the bathroom or the toilet. You pretend na magpo-poops ka or ihi ka and ponder there. Try to think. Kasi minsan, those things that we regret, yun pala yung mga blocks natin sa buhay. It's blocking our positive mindset. It's blocking our abundance mindset. It's blocking love to enter in our life because meron palang nakalimutan ng factor. And just you forgiving yourself, knowing that you now acknowledge it and accepting na you are accountable and you will now start to do better starting today. That could be your most important step towards healing, towards improvement. Because if you can think about the many factors in your life, whether it's about your self-development, about your love, career, family relationships, social relationships, your own financial status, and your relationship with your family. You try to assess kung saan mo kailangan i-improve yung status na yun sa buhay mo, and try to consider why you are lacking in there. Bakit kinukulang ka dyan? If you are okay with everything, only the finances na lang yung kulang, you can still think. Dahil minsan, you might think it's just about money, but it's actually about abundance mindset. The back of your mind, you might feel that you don't deserve this abundance. But actually, it's just a mindset. But when you forgive yourself with all of those things na nangyari before, you'll know that you are worth every treasures in the world. You are worth every love. You are worth whatever recognition that there needs to be recognized with just mere existence. With your existence, you are already enough. Okay na okay ka na. And that recognition and that reward and that comfort, you don't need to get it from outside. Only you can give that to yourself. So, when things don't go as planned, kung hindi nangyayari yung mga plano mo in life, try to reconsider which items you can improve. Kahit pa sabihin natin ibang tao yung may kasalanan sa nangyari na yon, but maybe you are the one who let that person get in your life. Kahit pa na-aksidente kayo sa sasakyan at ibang tao yung nagda-drive, I know it's not your fault, but it was your decision na sumakay sa sasakyan na yan, or you entrusted yourself with that person. So, if there are others naman that you need to let go, you just let it go. You let go of the things, all the negative things in your life that's blocking you. And also, you can start by improving your own mindset, and then you also improve your environment, because your environment also dictates 1/3 of how you will do in life. We will talk about that in the coming days. For now, yun lang muna, that when things don't go as planned, you reassess, you do what's necessary, you forgive others, you forgive yourself, and you make a resolution on how to improve and make sure na hindi na ito mangyayari ulit. Okay lang, it's impossible for us not to commit mistakes. But if we are to commit the same mistake, then there's already something wrong with us. Yun nga, shame on you if you fool me once, but shame on me if you fool me twice. Kung noloko ka minsan, kasalanan yun ng manloloko. Pero kung nagpaloko ka ng 2 beses na, abay, hindi na yun kasalanan niya. Siya ay nagumagawa lang ng kanyang usual stuff, but it's you who let it happen. So maraming salamat, Virgie, Diony, Elfie, Beth, Robert, Edmund, Catherine, and to all of you who are all here. Maraming salamat for our morning. It's now 7:58, almost 8 o'clock, and nasa 1 hour na tayo of our walk. But in here, I'm not sure, 30 minutes siguro na. Maraming salamat. I hope to see you again tomorrow around the same time. Ideally, nasa 6:30, pero baka nasa 7:30 na tayo nagsisimula. You can just do your own chores, and thank you so much, everyone, for being with me. I hope you can also share this to your family and friends, because hindi nyo alam kung sino yung pwede nating ma-inspire o matulungan to deal with heartbreaks, to deal with disappointments, and just some help when it comes to overall wellness. Good morning sa lahat, and good night para sa mga matutulog na. Regardless of time, I wish you a good life. Always, every day, until it is our time to say goodbye and be happy sa kung ano man yung buhay na ating pinagdaanan, sa buhay that we actually live with a purpose, with fulfillment. So thank you so much, everybody. Maybe we will go live later around 10 in the morning in our Facebook and YouTube pages. Maraming salamat po. Thank you, and I'll see you again tomorrow for our City Walk and Talk with yours truly, Dr. Josephine Grace Rojo. Bye!